Hello English learners, welcome to my channel where I help you learn a little each day. My English students know that I love phrasal verbs. They are the flavor of the English language and they are incredibly important for you to learn if you're going to become fluent in English. So we are going to learn them, like I teach everything, a little bit at a time. Today we're going to begin with the phrasal verb put on. Now, I know you probably think, I know this one. I've heard this many times. I use this phrasal verb. I put on my jacket, or I put on a hat, or I put on a coat. Yes, it is the phrasal verb that we use for clothes, but it's used for a lot of other things too, and today I'm going to show you some other meanings. Let's begin though with its most literal meaning, which simply means to put something on a surface. So I have a book, I put the pen on the book. I can put the book on my table. If I look around this room, I have shelves. I put books on those shelves. So I have put something on a surface. When we use the phrasal verb in this way, we have to separate it. We cannot say, I put on the pen, the table. That doesn't really work. You have to separate it and say, I put the pen on the table. So I'd like you to try it right now. Pause and try. Tell me about your desk at home. What things do you have on your desk? Tell me about the things you put on your desk, and then I'll tell you about the things on my desk. Let's pause for a moment and try it. Okay, on my desk, I can say that I put a cup holder on my desk with my pen and pencil in it. I put my phone on my desk. I put a notebook computer on my desk. What things did you say that you put on your desk? By the way, if you want, you can leave comments below to show me your practice questions. If there are any errors, I'm happy to help correct those as I have time. Now, the next meaning of this phrasal verb is very similar. It is to connect or attach something. So I have this marker and I will put the cap on my marker. So I connected it or attached it. It wasn't really a surface, but it was connecting or attaching something. When they made this jacket, they put buttons on this jacket. I put a picture on my wall. So you see, it is connecting or attaching something. And you still have to separate this one, I believe, right? You have to say, I put the picture on the wall. You can't say, I put on the picture the wall or something like that. It just doesn't work. You must separate this phrasal verb. So let's pause and try. Look around your room. Tell me some things that you put on your walls. Okay, if I look around my room, I can see that I put a clock on my wall. I have some other pictures that I put on my wall. I have a shelf that I put on the wall that's attached to the wall. So those are some things on my wall. Now, the next use of this phrasal verb, of course, is for clothes. I put on my shirt, I put on my jacket, I put on a hat. I do put on a hat whenever it's cold outside. I lived in Russia for 8 years, and I got into the habit of putting on a hat before I went outside. Or, listen, I could say, I put a hat on before I go outside. So put on a hat or put a hat on. Do you see this use? We can shift the position of the thing that we are putting on. We can say, I put a hat on, or I put on a hat. I'd like you to try this. Pause and try for a moment. Tell me some things that you put on this morning. And try using both positions for those things. So, today I put on a shirt, or I put a shirt on. I put on a jacket, or I put a jacket on. So those would be some of my answers. Now, there is another use of this phrasal verb in the expression to put on some weight. Now, this is not a very pleasant topic for any of us, but the idea of gaining weight. So whenever I go visit my relatives in Greece, it's easy for me to put on weight because the food is so good. It means to get heavier or get fatter, if we want to say it that way. I won't make you do a question on this because putting on weight is not a pleasant topic of conversation. But the next use of this phrasal verb is one that I would suggest you use in conversation. And it sounds wonderful in this way. When you have a friend over and you want to prepare that friend some coffee or some tea, what you can say is, "Hey, I'm going to put on some coffee," or "Hey, I'm going to put on some tea." What does that mean? It means you're going to go to your stove or to your coffee maker and you're going to prepare some coffee or prepare some tea. Now, it's not just prepare, because you can't use this for something that you bring out, like you can't say, "I'll put on some apples for you." That doesn't really work because you're not really cooking them. This is for something like tea, where you're going to put a pot on the stove, or you're going to put a pot on the little electric piece to make it work, or to prepare some tea. We use it for tea, coffee. You could use it for something like soup, or something that's going to go on the stove that you're going to prepare. It simply means I'm going to cook it up or heat it up for you and serve it for you. So let's try this. Let's pause the video for a moment and try this with this question. If your best friend comes over, what will you put on for them? Coffee or tea? I live in America now, so when my friends come over, I put coffee on for them. When I lived in Russia, though, I almost always put tea on for my friends. Now, there is one other very good usage of this phrasal verb that you should know, and that is to organize an event. The event is usually something that doesn't happen every day or every week. It's going to be something like a play, or a concert, or a party, or a show, or an exhibition, or a seminar, or some kind of conference. These are things that we put on or organize. So, at my work, I could say I organized a seminar for my English teaching colleagues. I could say I organized, or I could say I put on a seminar for my English teaching colleagues. I could put on a party for my friends. I could go to a concert and say, "Wow, that band really puts on an amazing concert." Now, in this way, it kind of means to organize. It can also mean to perform in that way, but it's still sort of together in its meaning, to organize and perform. We could say, "I went and saw Yo-Yo Ma. He put on an amazing concert," or an amazing show. So, let's pause and try this. Think about an event that you went to, and tell me a little bit about who put that event on. For me, probably the most fun event that I ever put on was a writing camp in Moscow, Russia. It was a little bit outside of Moscow. We went to a campground and we wrote stories together, and we talked about how to write stories. It was with a friend of mine who has an English school in Moscow, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed putting on that English camp, or that writing camp. So these are all the uses, well, the most important uses, I think, of the phrasal verb put on. Do you have any questions? Please leave them in the comments below. If this video has helped you, please like or subscribe to my channel. And please hit the alerts so that you will get alerted every time that I create a video. If you would like personal emails from me on how to improve your English, please go to my website. I have put it in the link below. And just sign up for my newsletter. I will never sell your email. I just like to send my friends little pieces of advice to help them learn English. Thanks so much for watching English Teacher Tim. Have a great day.